I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I've never done these type of videos before where I sat down and talked to you about what I like and what I personally feel about something. But today is gonna be very different. As you know, I've been a fan of Nintendo for a while now. I've had the first console I had for Nintendo was the Wii. Then it became the DS. Then it became the 3DS. Then it became the Wii U, and obviously I'm now stuck with the Nintendo Switch. And we are 5 years to the Switch's life. However, I'm in a point right now where I feel like Nintendo has two big problems with this. And this video is basically not really a review of what I think of the Switch, because if I was, I would have been gone into detail of what I like and what I personally don't like. But the problem is that I really do not like the state the console's in right now, because it has two problems that I believe they could have fixed if they put the effort in. First one I feel like they need to fix is their game library. We're going to just start off to the point of the video. What I mean by the game library is, yeah, they have some good games, but the games that are actually somewhat good or decent are games that are like first-player adventure games. When it comes to the party games, not so much, because they all fall in the same problem, in the same category that everyone had. You start off enjoying it at first, but then you realize that there's nothing to do, and you just don't play it anymore because there's no point in playing it. And Nintendo's idea was like, oh, well, you have the online, you can play with people. It's like, yeah, but that people are boring. people are not, randoms are not fun to play with. They sweat their balls off, Nintendo. So as a result, you want to be playing with your friend, right? Again, here's a problem with that. There is no reason to. There's no purpose, because you guys will have fun for like. You guys will have fun for like, I don't know, like 3 seconds, 3 hours, and then after that you're done. Like I'm gonna talk about strictly the games that I owned, I had and seen. Because the only game I'm gonna have an extension of is Mario Golf, because I don't know shit about that game. All I know is that it got boring pretty quickly, but I can't go into reason why and all that because I never played it. But I have played ARMS. I've played Mario Tennis Aces. I played Super Mario Party. I've played Mario Strikers Battle League with a friend of mine for a little bit. And I've also almost got Switch Sports Resort, but I stopped myself because the problem with it is the same problem with every single type of game, every single multiplayer type game. Now, I want to talk about Aces for a second. My big issue with Aces is not even the core gameplay, because the core gameplay is actually the best out of any of the tennis games you can think of. It works a lot smoother. It works a lot smoother offline. It works a lot better than any of the other tennis games. And the whole thing of breaking the racket and stuff like that is amazing. So why do I consider it not a good game? Well, it's because you get bored of it very quickly because it wasn't finished. It wasn't a finished game. Nintendo has this thing where they give us a game that's naked, not even like half finished, just fully naked. Then they fucking I don't have a spoon here, but they spoon feed us content. Like, hey, here you go. Here's some content. Here's some content, and the content's not even that great either, to be honest. Like for Aces, the content is basically, we got characters every month that you play in the online, and you get the characters. Like, okay, great. Where's the mini games? Where's the new courts? Oh, we don't have that. No, we don't have that. You're stuck with the courts that you have right now. And the worst part about it is the courts or the characters that were free downloadable content for each month. Half of them were already in the game. So why are they downloadable content when they're already in the game? You know, like it doesn't make any sense. Another issue with the game is, like I mentioned earlier, there's no mini games like in Mario Power Tennis and all that. There's no new courts. It's just new characters, and you play for them for like 10 minutes, and then you're back to I don't know playing Fortnite or something, Apex even Call of Duty. At least from now, but back then you'd be back to playing like I don't know, like you'd be back to playing Smackdown is doing now. You'd be back to playing like games that you have more fun, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Splatoon 2 and all that. But for Aces, like there's no reason to play. This is it. The story mode is like Naruto mid. It's not that great. I was just kidding, by the way. I never watched Naruto, but the point is, it's not that great. The adventure mode is not that great. The rackets that you have there, you can never use them for some reason, and there will be some levels where you sit there and go, why can I not play them? Why is it not there? Like, and the boss battles that were actually fun in the adventure mode, for some reason, that's not a mode either. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to introduce us to a lot of bosses for the tennis game, but no, you don't get that. That's the same problem with every of the other spin-off games, Mario spin-off games, and the party games. Like, ARMS was completely unfinished, and it was just a mess. It was a complete mess. Like, the gameplay was fine. Like, it was fine for what it was, but then again, you get bored of it very quickly because there's nothing to produce. Nothing new. So you get bored of it, and it's like, okay, you're done for the day. Super Mario Party, the exact same problem. You play it, and you get bored of it very quickly, but this one is just because the game just sucks. This one is kind of just the fact that the game is just really, really bad because it's slow as fuck. It's somehow slow as fuck. It's called Super Mario Party, yet it's somehow slow as fuck. The boards are bland and lame. There's nothing new. There's no interesting gimmick for it. The stars, you can get the stars for like 10 coins, and it's like, why? The ally space, I don't want to believe somebody actually tested out the ally space, because you can. It's one thing to have the person's dice blocks, but the fact that the person is stuck with the ally itself to give you an extra dice is completely stupid, because that just ruins the game. Because it's obvious people with the most allies wins. It's just how it is. And the online for there sucks. Like, come on, what the fuck? But yeah, like it didn't have it. Main problem with that again, it comes to the same problem. It wasn't finished because the idea was it took them, I think, a year or two to introduce an actual board game party online mode for Super Mario Party. That should have been in the game a long time ago. That should have been there when it came out. There should have been more boards, but there isn't. So, again, like, it's unfinished, so it sucks. Mario Strikers Battle, like, I don't even need to explain. This game pissed me off because that was the game I was very excited for. I even made a video talking about the Nintendo Direct at that time and saw that there and saying that how that game is going to be great. Yet somehow it's not. Again, it falls in the category. It had a good idea, and the core gameplay is okay, but it's unfinished, so you get bored. There's no reason to play it again. Like, if it says I need to do this to unlock something, then I'll keep playing, because then I'll actually have more fun, because I'm going to enjoy getting the reward. And then when it's fully done, that's when you have so much fun to a point that you cannot stop playing. For example, Mario Strikers Charge. I want to talk like Mario Strikers Charge. There's characters you need to unlock and stages you need to unlock, and then when you do, you want to test out those stages, and now you're in a point where, well, I did have fun with the journey. I want to see if I can do that with other characters, and now it becomes an endless cycle of fun. Obviously, until you get and then you have fun for the game a lot more. And Mario Strikers Battle League, you get bored of it for like 3 hours or like 3 days because there's nothing to achieve there. And the downloadable content is new characters again, and some of the characters should have been already in the game, like Daisy. Why was Daisy ever a DLC downloadable content for any game? That is a crime. Nintendo should be ashamed of doing that. I'm not, but that's not even the worst part. Switch Sports Resort. I think that one got hit horribly with it because their new, interesting down DLC sport was golf. Golf. No, that's not downloadable content. That should have been something that was in the game, and the game itself is unfinished again. It's generic. There's nothing crazy going on. Like in Mario, like in Wii Sports Resort, there would be different modes that you have to play to unlock it. Like for sword play, you start off with the simple sword play and all that, and then if you get to a specific, if you keep winning a specific amount of time, you get a new mode, which is slicing the vegetables or fruits or whatever, a clock. And then you got Showdown, where you basically it's like a beat 'em up. You just beat everybody up, and then they're all fun. And it's like, oh, I kind of want to do that again. What makes a game have a great replay value is if the game's completed, put so much effort, and when you think about how to make it a replay value game, you actually come up with original ideas for the person to go back and do it. And I know it's gonna. And listen, Odyssey did had a replay value, but it wasn't a good. It wasn't a good replay value, because all the moons were the same thing, just copy and paste. There was some like one or two new stuff, but overall it's like the same thing. Like you go to like a Pacific hideout, you get a moon. Go to transform into like a bird or something, you get a star. You get a moon. Beat the Koopa Troop in the race. That was fun, but it got boring. But like originality, man, originality. Another problem with the game library is the ports. I don't. See, it's weird. It's gonna hurt me to say that because listen, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is the best Switch game ever, because it makes sense. It's one of the best games ever because it won Game of the Year for a reason. But listen, it's not a Switch game. It's a Wii U game. It's ported to the Switch. It's okay to port games to the Switch. But if you're going to be doing that, make sure that you're at a point in the Switch's life where you actually were making some games that got people excited and people enjoy playing. Then you can start porting old games and all that. Which, by the way, that concept just got dumbed down the toilet with what they're doing right now with the whole NES, SNES, and 64 things that they're doing for the game, for the console. Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Super Mario 3D World, all those, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, all those games have been ported from the Wii U to the Switch, and they're at full price. They're all $60. None of them should have been $60. Not even Breath of the Wild, to be honest, because it was a ported game. None of them should have been $60. A ported game should never have been $60 because it's a port. It's a port. Even if it's a remake, it's still a goddamn port. The point of getting people excited for the port is that it's something you can go back to, and if it's at a low price, more people are actually going to get it because it's a low price. So I don't understand this whole idea of porting stuff to the game and making them full price. And right now, Nintendo is trying to share indie games and third party games into their console, which is I guess a nice thing to do. And at the same time, I understand it gives you money. But if you're gonna be doing that, at least make it look good. At least do a good job at it. Like, it's not good at all. Like, Apex is disgusting to look at on the Switch. Paladin is also disgusting to look at on the Switch. Overwatch is a complete mess right now, to be honest. I enjoyed it because I'm lucky to not be part of the first Overwatch, but I can see where people are coming from. The WWE 2K games are disgusting. NBA 2K games are also disgusting. they don't do a good job. Dead by Daylight looks horrendous. Don't get me, and listen, the phone tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. It's a complete mess. None of that worked. It didn't work. So yeah, as you can see, the game library is not that great. But that's not even the worst part about it. The worst part about the Switch is their online. The online in this console is an embarrassment. An embarrassment to not only Nintendo, just to any fucking human being that knows how to give us good internet. Like, my Wi-Fi is perfect, not perfect, but great to work with any game, yet somehow with the Switch, that is not the case. The only game I've struggled with making the online work, that not even my Wi-Fi, that didn't matter if I had good Wi-Fi or not, was WWE 2K20. And we all know how that game turned out if you're a wrestling fan. But that's the thing I want to make clear, because people went, well, you're complaining about the $20 on Nintendo. At least it's $20, man. You know, Sony and Xbox Live, you know, they put $60. Well, yeah, the online is $60 for Sony and Xbox, but guess what? At least they work. At least they're guaranteed to work. The Switch doesn't. Like right now, Splatoon 3 is going with the frame rate problem. You were guaranteed crashes in Smash Brothers. There's sometimes you crash in before in Splatoon 2, and that now applies to the Mario spin-off games I just mentioned. And Super Mario Maker 2, I didn't mention that game because that whole online just fucking shot itself in the face. It ruined the entire game because there was no point of doing it online, because there was like input lag, there were just lag in general, disconnects. It was just a whole mess. And the worst part about it, Nintendo don't even try to fix it. They had this problem since 2018 when they announced the $20 online payment. And yet somehow they haven't even thought about fixing it. And that implies the game library too. They give us good fun adventure games. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the Mario spin-off game, you know, the one where you can play with your friends and all that, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And as a result, these are big problems with Nintendo that Nintendo needs to somehow fix. They need to be fixed to make the Switch somewhat relevant again. Because I already got to deal with the fact that the Joy-Con sucks as controllers. I already got to deal with the fact that we're back to doing Francos. And I have to deal with the fact that the entire system itself looks dead. It just looks dead. It's unalive compared to the other consoles. But the fact that the game library and the online are both the key reason why the Switch mainly is not great right now goes to show that Nintendo has gotten lazier and lazier over the years. And it hurts me because I'm a fan of Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I just wish they actually put the same effort that they did before. Especially nowadays when online is what people are there for. And yet somehow the online is not great. I do believe that Nintendo can find a way to fix the game library, and it's basically just give us a finished game, give us a finished party game, give us a finished multiplayer game, and I guarantee you, man, it will go great. Not even that, make sure the game is not only finished, you actually have to do some things to award them to unlock stuff. Give us more stuff, because quantity over quality is always an important thing. I get that, but if you can put so many stuff in there and you put the right effort in, that's going to be big quality over quantity. Because the quantity is the $60 they're promoting their games, but the quality is how it feels, how it's going, how it plays, how great it is. And that's not what it's been. That has not been the case. And listen, Nintendo it saddens me to say that, because I really do feel like Nintendo is somewhat getting carried by Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers is like a phenomenon of a game right now. And if that game slowly dies, I don't see people having a reason to go back to the Switch. They probably go to Steam, go to Sony, and it hurts because Nintendo needs to do something. Nintendo needs to do something to get people back into their company, to get them interested in their game again. But anyway, I just wanted to sit there and talk about what I personally feel about the Switch, and yeah, that's kind of just it. Have a great day. I might do more of this, so if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and keep it safe.